All righty. It says we are live. So, hi, everybody. I am Michelle Solis from This Must Be Ink. And I just got some other weird thing on my screen. Sorry, totally distracted me. Michelle Solis from This Must Be Ink. And I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Seekonk, Massachusetts. So welcome to my Friday night Stampin' Sip. And tonight we are going to do a card with some watercoloring with this set that I got. I want to say this is a new set, but it's not a new set. It's been in the annual catalog for a year, but it's new to me. I just got it a couple months ago, had not even opened it yet. I could have been using this all year. Just wait till you see how cool this is, and I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't get this. Anyway, I have it now, so let me show you what it's all about. We are going to make a very pretty card. Let me go back to here. Okay, so this is the card that we're going to be recreating tonight. I actually cased this on Pinterest. A young lady was doing this, and I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but when I post this on my page tonight, I will put her name there. But she did the watercoloring technique with these dies, and I thought that was just brilliant. And I'm going to go with basically the same color palette that she was going with because I thought it just came out so pretty. Um, she did it a little bit differently. She did a blended background here, and she didn't use twine. But that's what I came up with to spice mine up a little bit and make it a little bit different, put my own spin on it. So that's what we're going to be working on. Okay. So cheers, everybody. Let's grab a sip of your favorite beverage and we'll get started. Okay. All right, let me put this aside. All right, so what we're using tonight is, yeah, I did make a card base. So I'm just going to use a basic white card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to use just a piece of the Lost Lagoon paper that I'm going to layer onto this card base. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. It's different than this one. This one I used just a Lost Lagoon card base for the whole thing. But I'm going to layer this one this time and see how that looks. Okay, so we're going to set that aside for now because what we need to do is work on all our little pieces and watercoloring. Okay, so let me show you the set. We're going to use this sentiment. Hope your day is filled with everything good. I think that's a really cute one for birthday. You can put happy birthday inside there. And then we're going to use this little stamp, which I have already stamped on some watercolor paper for us. So we're using that little flower stamp. And then we're going to use the dies from this set. So these are called the Timeless Arrangements dies, and they are fabulous. So there's 4 pieces. There's these 4 pieces that when you put them together, they're spaced just perfectly to layer up and make a beautiful focal point. And then it also comes with these little sentiment pieces, which you can see have a nice detail to them, a nice little stitching detail, and it has a little X in the middle on all sides. So it makes a really cute little sentiment piece. I don't know if you can see the details on that, but it's so adorable. So I love these. And then, of course, it has dies that are going to cut out the things that you are stamping, and it has a few extra little sprig dies as well. Okay, so those are the dies. These are the 4 pieces that it makes. Let me bring you a piece of cardstock so you can see. So it brings in these 4 pieces. Now this one kind of looks like a little clovery to me. And this one, I don't know what that looks like. Berries or maybe? And then this one kind of looks like flowers, or this one could be a flower. You can kind of interpret it any way you would like. But when you take these, and they don't have to go in any specific order, when you take them and layer them, they make this beautiful arrangement, which is perfect for a focal point. So that's what we're going to create tonight. All right, so I've got 8 of them. I've got 2 of each, and then I've got this little flower. And we're going to work with a color palette. Oh, let me grab my inks here. The greens, we're going to use Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Soft Seafoam, and some Pretty Peacock. Only because I didn't think the Lost Lagoon was coming out dark enough. So I added some Pretty Peacock. So we'll see how that goes tonight. Those were the colors I was planning. And then for the flowers, I used Berry Burst and Melon Mambo. So that's the plan. All right. So let's get started with these pieces first. So I had decided I was going to make 3 of them in the green and then 2 of them in the berry colors. So I think I'm going to use this one as the flowers. So I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to make all 6 of these in the green tones. Okay, so what I did was I started with my soft seafoam. And when I do this technique, what I like to do is put some ink on a block. So I'm going to put my soft seafoam ink right there on my block. And I'm going to get my water painters. I'm using the middle water painter, which is kind of a medium-sized point brush here. And you're going to want to have a paper towel, just to help clean your brush and just in case you make a mess. So we're going to squeeze out some water onto my block here. And that's going to wet the tip of my water painter. And I can go back and I can pick up more water from there as well. And then you're going to pick up some color, your ink from the block. And then I just randomly started putting this on. I want this to kind of be a base color for these leaves. So I'm just going to pick up water and ink. Definitely should have put more ink on there. That's not going to be nearly enough. Okay, so we just want to wet all of our paper, and we're going with a background color of this seafoam green. So that's going to be my base color here. And I'm going to have to add some more ink to my block. And it does not have to be perfect. What you're doing is really just, at this point, creating a base color. And it can be as dark or as light as you like. The whole point of watercoloring is not to get a perfect color. It's a water wash. So it'll be darker in some areas and lighter in others. I should have done half of these. That would have gone much faster, but I'm not in a big hurry. Are you guys in a big hurry? All right, so we'll just get these guys done. Let's get a little more ink and just continue. So I kind of layered up the colors from light to dark. This being the lightest, the soft seafoam. And this is also just helping me get my paper. I'm sorry, I um, die cut these out of watercolor paper. Let me see if I have the packet paper. So Stampin' Up! Does sell a watercolor paper. It's called Fluid 100, and the pieces I think are 7 inches long. I used half a sheet to die cut the four die cuts out of, and that's the paper that I'm using here tonight for these. So I'm at the same time that I'm putting color on, I'm also wetting the paper, priming it with water. Okay, we'll get this last one here. You can see by looking at some of the others that I've got some dark areas and some lighter areas, which is normal. And that's essentially what you want, because you want to make it's watercolor. You want to just make it look random. Okay, so we've got a good base color laid down there with the soft seafoam. Then we'll go to the next color, which in this case is going to be Lost Lagoon. So as I said last night, I wasn't having a lot of luck with this coming out dark enough. So I'm going to just take the soft seafoam off my block. Now I'm going to put some Lost Lagoon on my block and a little bit more water. And then I'm going to start adding that color to my leaves. And I want to just kind of bounce it on there, just randomly adding some color. This is the most beautiful color. Every time I use it, I fall in love with it all over again. At one point, I was at 2021, maybe 2020, 2021. They had a Just Jade, which I thought I was in love with, but I think Lost Lagoon is even better. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Look at how pretty that is. Can you see that beautiful color there? Just nice and soft and kind of random. That's what you want. Okay, so we'll add some to this one. You want to leave a little area because you're going to add another color. And they really should all be different. We'll have to see how this looks tonight and whether we want to add some pretty peacock to go even darker. Okay, So by the time you get done with that one, this first one that you worked on should be pretty dry. And then we can go to the next color, which I'm going to add some old olive. These two colors that I've used so far have kind of a blue, are kind of in the blue-green family. Now I'm going to add some uh, more of a bit of a classic green. I might have used too much here. Well, blend it out. All right, so we're going to add some old olive. I do want some dark accents. You don't want this to just fade into the background. Okay. Should hear the wind outside. I don't like what the weather is like where you guys are, but it was sunny today, but very blustery, very windy. I'm so ready for spring. Okay. I guess I'm just ready to be able to go outside and not have to wear a coat. That will be such a treat, not to have to put on a ton of layers to go outside. And the last one here. And I'm just adding the color random. And really no two pieces should be alike at this point. Okay, so that's what we've got going on. Oh, oh yeah, I did this one. Okay, so what I was going to do now, before I decide about my pretty peacock, was going to lay these on here and see if I have enough of a contrast. So I might. I think that old olive came out darker this time around. So we've got that one, and then I need this one. Oh, that might be pretty good. As opposed to this one, I did some pretty peacock. Well, maybe I should put some pretty peacock in there. Just for fun, let's add a little bit. Because that's another beautiful color. It's kind of like Lost Lagoon, but even deeper of Lost Lagoon. We'll just get a little bit of that one to add to a couple of these leaves. Okay, so this one is going to stick up. If you look at the arrangement that this makes, you can see this one sticks up there. So we'll give that one a little bit of this bluish color just to get it to really stand out. So pretty. Do the same to this one. There we go. That one and that one. And I think that's really, well, this one kind of stands out a little bit. So let's give this one a little bit of bluish, little darker blue. All right. I think that's going to be good. And I've used up all my pretty peacocks, so we'll go with that. All right, then we're going to move on and do these, what I'm considering flowers. Get these greens out of the way. And let's bring these two in. Can you see these down here? That I'm going to think are flower pieces. So I'm going to get the green off my brush by pushing out some more water and just working the green out of the tip of my brush. You might get some staining at the edge of your brush, but as long as it's painting clear, you'll be fine. You won't contaminate um, the other color. Okay, so for the flowers, I used Melon Mambo as my base color. Nice bright color. A little too bright. It's spring. Okay, so we're going to blend that out. And again, we're just going to wash over our pieces with that color. And you really don't have to do these crossbar pieces because you won't see them. That's the layering piece. Fits one on top of the other, and you won't see them, so you don't really need to color that. So we've got some Melon Mambo on that one. Oh yeah, I didn't need to put so much Melon Mambo on here. And then this one. It looks so bright on the block, but when it hits the water and the watercolor paper, it's not as bright. It's so pretty. It's a beautiful pink. Oh, can't pick it up. Super pretty. Okay, so we've got those two. Then we've got these little flowers that I want to add as accents. So I'm going to also give them some Melon Mambo color. And just kind of wash over them. These are a little more complicated because you have to stay in the lines. But you want to just give them a wash. And it doesn't have to fill up the whole flower. You can leave some white space. I like that look actually with a little bit of white edges there. And then I should have done the leaves while we had the green going. Okay, so we have those three. And then we're going to just accent that with a little bit darker shade in the berry burst. Oh, clean that very well. Malvo does not want to leave. There we go. So we'll get some berry burst. Hey, Kathy, thanks for joining. Okay, we got a little bit of berry burst. That was very juicy ink pad. And let me get some of this melon mambo out of my brush. Okay, so we'll squeeze out some water and we'll just pick up some of that melon mambo. And I just want to dab this on the flowers and give him some of the flowers a little bit darker accent. Just random to give it a little bit deeper color. There we go. Oops. And then on these, we'll just add a little bit to like the middle here. Just give it a little shading. These remind me kind of the painted poppy set that everybody loved so much. I loved it too. Could be a poppy, could kind of be a tulip. I don't know. Okay. And that's that. Okay. Yeah, I've made a mess here with ink. All right, we'll just sit this aside so we don't put our arm in it. I'm going to flip over my chamois because it has a lot of ink in it right now. Okay, let's just clean up our brush. And again, just push some water out and just get the color out of your brush. You may get some staining on your brush, but it'll be fine. Okay, and then we can put that away. All right, so let's talk about how this goes together. We're going to want to do our sentiment piece. And I've got this little one here that I'm going to put the hope your day is filled with everything good. I'm going to just stamp that. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to stamp that in Memento Black. There we go. Okay, the only other stamping I was going to do is a little bit on the card. You can see that I did on the background here. There's a little bit of stamping around my focal point. But I'm going to get the focal point put together first so I know about where I want to stamp. Because each time I put this together, it comes out different. All right. So you have 4 pieces. So we're going to have, let me put down something so you can see and you're not all in the, this white here. Okay. All right, so you'll have 4 pieces. So you've got, I used this one as the base. I don't know why, I just like this one to be the bottom. And this bar is where they're going to layer. So you just put some glue across this little bar and you add your next piece. So there's, as I said, 4. So just pick up your next one and layer it on. And if you line up the bars, you're going to come out with a perfectly spaced arrangement. So we've got that one, and then we're going to pick up one of these pink ones. Yeah, I could kick myself for not playing with these, getting these earlier and playing with these more. Oops, so here's my pink one. And then the last one is this little guy. Let me just layer him right on there. And there you have your beautiful arrangement of flowers. So pretty. Okay, so we're going to do that again. And this one. Yeah, it could not be easier to do. I don't know who thought of this, but it was genius. Because layering up floral pieces can be kind of intimidating, but this makes it super easy. And you get this nice dimension there because each, as you're building it up, it gets thicker and thicker. So you get these pieces in front of the other pieces. Really pretty. Okay, so then what I did was to put it on the front of my card, I just put one on top and one on the bottom. And that's where I put my sentiment, just like that. Look how beautiful that is, if I may say so myself. Hey, Courtney, thanks. All right, so then I just wanted to figure out where these flowers were going to go before I glue it all together. So I put this one kind of back here. So all I did was add a little bit of glue to the stem. And then, let's pick this up, get it back there, and just glue it to the back of that. And the other one I want to go on this side, kind of the same way. So we'll do that. Stick them in here. We want them to be the same, but not exactly the same. It wants to be a little random. Okay. And then the last one, I think I put over on the side this way. I think I just glued it to the thing. Okay, let's just glue it right to the label. That's what we're doing. Glue it right like that to the label. Okay, well now I have glue on my fingers. All right, so now we're going to go to the card base. Well, the mat that's going on the card base. So this is going to go here. This is going to go here, right, with the one in the middle. So we're going to just, actually, we're going to add glue to here. Let's add glue to there instead. Trying to make it, trying to line it up. All right, so we get that on there. And then we'll get some glue on here. And line this up. So you can go as close as you want to. You can spread it out or you can make it further away. There. And schmutzed it. There we go. Okay, so then I want that to go here. And again, I was going to use this little stamp. I don't know what this reminds me of the Olympic circles. I don't know why. But I was going to stamp a little bit in the same color, so in Lost Lagoon, around my focal point, just to give it a little bit more dimension. Okay, so pick up some Lost Lagoon, and then I just kind of eyeball where I want it to go. Right about here. I think I might need more ink on my Lost Lagoon pad here. And then maybe one down here. That's better. And then one over here. And over here. Okay. There's no wrong way to do it. Just random, some random stamping. Okay. Now the twine. So the twine comes in, there's a Baker's Twine Essentials pack. I'm not really sure why I bought the whole pack, but I only use this color. I don't know why. It's my favorite. But anyways, it has a bunch of different colors. My goal is to use more colors. We'll see. So when you take it off the roll and pull it out, it's already kind of wonky. So what I did was I literally just dropped it onto the card. Just like that. Just drop it on there. Let it go the way it wants to go. And then I'm going to add my thing right on top of it. Don't touch it. Don't breathe on it. We're going to get some dimensionals. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back here. And also on these flowers that are sticking out. And if you can see a place that's got where you can't see through it, you could add some more dimensionals. But a lot of these are very small. So if you put a dimensional up there, you're going to see it through the floral images. So we're going to take the backs off here. And then we're going to bring this in and we're going to just put it down. Just random, just like that. And some of your dimensionals are going to pick up that twine and glue it down. So that's it. That's how I did it. Okay, so we're going to take this white card base. Where my phone folder is. And we're going to attach that. To the front. I should have put another little mat of the berry burst or mango under there to pull out that pink, but this is what we're going with. Okay, so then to top it all off, I brought in my Blooming Pearls that has a little pearl that is Lost Lagoon. These lighter green ones here. And I can never find my take your pencil. And I need it. Okay, here we go. I think these might be pretty peacock, which would be pretty as well, but I like these lighter ones. I just want them to be subtle on the card, not stand out too much. I think because this thing is so busy, you can use most of the time I use 2 big ones and a small one. I think you can use 3 big ones because the focal point is so busy. So there we go. There's the one I did the other night, and here's the one we did tonight. It's so pretty. I don't know why I didn't buy this earlier. Anyway, there we go. I made one other, and this one I did with some of the in colors, the boho blue, wild wheat, and berry burst. And this time I used the dies to just cut out cardstock. And same technique, just layered them up with the cardstock. And then I stamped these images on my um, sentiment piece here. That sentiment piece came from where are they? These new wonderful dies I got at Onstage. The Spotlight on Nature dies created this sentiment piece. That's these guys here. These are gorgeous. And I'm not going to let this happen to me again. I'm going to use these. You're going to see a lot of those. So the love and thanks sentiment came from the Timeless Arrangements set as well. Okay, so that's it for me tonight. That's all I was going to show you. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you haven't looked at these Timeless Arrangements dies yet, I think you might want to because they're really, really beautiful. Okay, so let's get out of here. There we go. All right, so that's it for me tonight. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure you come back next week. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, so I'll be back next Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, for more information and for more inspiration. And if you want to join my email list, you can visit my website at thismustbeinc.com. And if you have any questions, just certainly just message me. Always want to help you make cards and send cards. So certainly message me. Thank you, Courtney. Yeah, you guys too have a good Easter weekend. I keep forgetting it's Easter. But I did make some Easter baskets and I brought them to work. Yay, everybody liked the chocolate. So enjoy yourselves, guys, and stay crafty, my friends. See you next week.